Hello, beautiful Capricorn, and welcome to December 2020. And happy birthday to those Capricorns who were born in late December. The message that came through, this is a powerful month. I'm sure many of you are aware. But the message came through that you are between two worlds. You are modulating between two very different modalities because Jupiter and Saturn, who have been with you, Saturn's been with you for about 3 years, and Jupiter has been with you for the last 13 months. These energies are shifting out of your sign right before Capricorn season begins and moving into Aquarius. And let's just take a moment here to honor everything you have learned and grown into over the last 3 years. That's the number one thing I think about December for Capricorn, is this is just a really important month to give yourself credit and grace and love for everything you have become, you have learned, you have mastered, you have come to understand. It has been a very powerful 3 years for everybody. And I think for you specifically, I'm sure you have grown and changed in ways that have made you who you are now. And you are about to start a journey where the learning is from a really different perspective, right? It's going to continue to be practical energy as Jupiter and Aquarius move into your second house, where it's going to be about, how to build resources for yourself and to feel grounded in really nourishing ways, and it's still going to be intimate in some ways. However, this time has been so much about deep development, and depending on the Capricorn, some of you have had a time of real deep empowerment, and some of you have just been stripped to the bone. Saturn, always asks very authentic, real things of ourselves, and no matter where he is in the sky, he's always affecting us in different ways. But here's the deal. This month is a change for you because you are going to start learning in new ways. You are going to start finding that where your challenges are coming from are from a very different place. And where your blessings are coming from are from a very different place. And so, that pressure that's been on Capricorn is releasing. So let's just take a minute to enjoy that. I love it. I'm very excited and curious about this next chapter. Chiron also this month is going direct on the 15th in Aries in your fellow cardinal sign. And that has been a lot of healing around your intimate spaces. So that's a beautiful thing. The eclipse season are hitting your 6th house in Gemini and then your 12th house in Sagittarius. So this is about the first half of this month as we're leading into this big shift and as we're leading into your season. I'm so curious about Capricorn season this year, and the energy shift is just going to be such a vibrant time when we hit the 21st. But the first few weeks of this month are going to be a time for deep spiritual rest, deep spiritual reset, and to honor yourself. You are between worlds. You don't need to be in a rush. You don't need to be beating yourself with a stick and going. Just put that over there. December, that is not what's going on. In fact, for the Cancer Capricorn axis, this is a holy month. And I mean that in a way that this is a time to recommune with your, sorry, I'm getting distracted by something in the background over there. 3 cards wanted to come out. Recommune with your spirit, your soul, to honor yourself, to honor your growth, to heal. It's important. 2 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, and the Sun. Hello. I'm loving this. Very supportive energy. This is a time to kind of create an altar to honor who you have become. And also, here's the thing. These eclipses and the shift into Aquarius energy and even the full moon in Cancer at the end of the month, these are very visionary energy shifts. And generally speaking, the energetic pulse underneath everything this month is it's about opening wide to this next energetic cycle and to what is possible next. And I love that, right? I really love that. The star. Oh, you guys. This is such supportive energy. I just love it so much. There's very visionary energy this month, and it doesn't want you to get too caught up in the muck and the mire of the past, right? We were doing that work September, October, November. That was a lot of working through. However, I think it's important to open yourself up gently to this next phase, to not be in a rush, to not feel like you need to understand it all before it's even happened. A lot of us are going to be really chomping at the bit to get going on this next chapter. Okay, let's do it. Like, I'm ready to move on from everything this last year. Let's go. But, that over eagerness can kind of burn you out and overwhelm you and leave you feeling even lower energy because these are such huge waves of energy. So this is what I'm loving about what I'm seeing here. One thing I'm going to say about these cards and this energetic shift that I see for Capricorns is that you are being welcomed back into more playful energy after a time that was like, let's focus on some of these building blocks. Let's come back to foundations, right? Let's get really into what is foundation, what is security, what is stability. These are a lot of the themes. You are being invited to open back up. For me, Two of Wands is actually, weirdly, like I said, the caption for the notes I had for you, the intuitive message was between two worlds. And for me, the Two of Wands is the initiatory gate to creative spark, creative movement forward in life. It's where, it's kind of like you're standing at the doorway to this big, beautiful landscape, and you haven't started to engage with the landscape yet. You haven't quite gotten immersed in it, but you're opening yourself. Just the fact of you standing there surveying it, just the fact of you plugging into this energy is a lot, and it does a ton. And I would say that it's time for you to kind of lift some of that pressure off and start opening, to start standing at this doorway. Very important. And along with that, the Six of Pentacles is speaking to harmonizing your physical and your spiritual, and soothing and finding even, give and receive, right? Rebalancing those scales. Eclipse season is very important for you in doing that as you prepare for Capricorn season. Reharmonizing, rebalancing. That can be on your health level, your physical level. It can also be just kind of coming to some rebalancing when it comes to giving and receiving in relationships, in your community, in your life. So these energies are kind of soft, right? They're not trying to blast the door open with dynamite and say, let's go. They're wanting you to show up at the doorway, right? Look, notice you are in a doorway between two worlds. You are ritually closing out a 3-year cycle and actively looking out toward this horizon. Saturn's moving through your second house of like finances and physical support and well-being, and so is Jupiter. So that means, this is going to be a time of amplifying those parts of your life. And, the Six of Pentacles is just like, let's get you physically set up. So these two are just like setting you up. Great. Okay. The Sun and the Star. These are pretty big impact cards. Let's just call it like it is. These are both very like optimistic, positive, healing cards, right? They really have no Saturn vibe in them whatsoever, right? These are very free-spirited energies. In fact, it's funny because this is like Leo and Aquarius energy, these are very flamboyant energies and playful energies. And here's the thing. It's okay this month. It's more than okay. It's actually one of your strengths and one of your places of empowerment this month to play in this energy, to play with what you want to create, what you want to build, what's next. These cards don't want, this energy doesn't want you to feel mired down or that your value has been decreased because you've gone through some difficult, intense experiences. So many of us are taught to think about things on like, I should do it this way, an axis, right? Like everything needs to be going in one direction, up and away. Everything needs to be building up like this, and that, we have a certain amount of energy and it gets depleted and then we're worthless. And it's shameful that we've been through hard things. And it's a very subtle mental place that we can go, right? The sun and the star have no interest in these tally-taking ways of viewing our value at the end of a long energetic cycle. No interest whatsoever. They want you to play and explore and remember your wholeness and your innocence. Both of these cards speak to very innocent beings. One, a small child who's just playing in the sun. Another, this celestial being who is tied to the divine, who is pouring from healing waters to the earth, right? These are both, they are not tied to the muck and the mire. And it's important as we switch into Aquarian energy and out of this really heavy time that has been so focused on Capricorn for all of us, but you specifically, it's important to tap into this modality and find ways to let your innocence be the guiding light. So being playful, being creative, being lighthearted, being curious, letting yourself dream, letting yourself float. You may be tempted to rely on the skills that you needed the last 3 years. There were certain skills that are very powerful, that are very useful, that you probably learned to use really fantastically in the last 3 years. And a lot of those skills you're going to take with you forward. And anytime you need them, you'll be able to pull them right out of your back pocket and say, look, got it. However, they're not going to always apply. And some of those skill sets you can just leave behind because you're no longer doing that work. And it's time to do different work. And so one of your goals here is to not worry so much about always using those same skill sets and get curious about the next skill sets, right? And this is that thing, that message between two worlds, between two shores, between two parts of yourself. Because you are being asked to honor who you are, honor everything you've done, and you're also being asked to completely start over and be a new version of, be in that childlike state of learning and growing and exploring. And there's going to be a lot of surprise with that, a lot of newness with that. Things are not going to just go status quo anymore. If things have been feeling like they've been going one certain way in a certain gear for a little while, that gear is shifting, and you may still be looking in that same point saying, well, I'm just waiting for this thing to go this way so that I can do this thing. And the mechanics aren't going to work quite the same. You're going to have to be taking a survey of the land and really looking where those next inputs are coming in. And that's where I think it's such a great month to be really observational of yourself, of your energy levels, of your dreams that are coming forward, of your physical health, of where you're getting input and signals from different places. So I'm loving this energy though. It's so supportive of you, Capricorn. And I'm just, I think about the Capricorns I know who have just had really, truly quite the last few years and have, whether you experience that as something that really helped you grow and become who you are, or something that has really taken so much, right? I'm just excited that there's another modality coming in. It's time. It feels right, don't you think? It feels like, all right, 3 years is about right. And it is time for some different things. And, I'm finding this in myself, and maybe you're finding this as well. There's almost I'm going to hold off on diving all the way into the belief that there's this new energy, right, coming in, because, I haven't fully felt it yet. And that's okay, because I'm also saying this to everybody. Yes, there's the big shift on the 21st. And yes, there is kind of this wow, we have entered some new territory. But it's also, we have time. We're going to be getting used to this energy. So yes, there's the big event, there's the big frequency shift, there's like a moment, but then there's just like, we're working our way into this next field of vision. And why would we understand something before we've ever experienced it? Why would we already have the rap sheet on it when we haven't even been there yet? So it's kind of like you just have to be in that modality of faith and relaxation enough to know that there is always something new around the corner. And there are some really beautiful things coming. I'm very excited for these new transits. I will be doing a ton of extra support over on Patreon around this, because it does require us to do things a little differently and get used to looking and feeling for things in new places that we haven't looked for them for a little while. And I'm excited for that, but it does just kind of like require a little preparation. So if you're looking for extra support, I'd love to see you over on Patreon. I will leave the link for that below, and you can find me on Instagram and on my website. And I just remembered too, I have affirmations for you all for the month of December. So here we go. My camera loves to do interesting things. So let's start from the beginning with these affirmations. I have learned so much, and I love who I have become. I give myself credit for how much I have grown, and that practice produces ease and support on my path. I am allowed to move forward in life from a place of softness and ease. I welcome in new, light, fun, easy, exciting opportunities. I love these affirmations. I feel like I'm going to take these with me for December in some ways. I feel like I need them. Probably partially because so much of my first house is in Capricorn. So I'm riding this wave with you. I really am. I hope you have a beautiful December. Like I said, I'll leave all of my resources in the description box below, and you can also find Pink Loon's gorgeous jewelry on her Etsy shop. So I'll leave all of the resources in the description box. Like I said, I hope you have a beautiful December. Take such good care of yourselves. I'm so looking forward to the beginning of Capricorn season and checking in with you all in just a little bit for the continuation of this magical, powerful, potent time of year that I think we don't give enough credit to. Let's be real. Like, we do not give enough credit to Capricorn season. I will see you all then, and I will also see you for all the moon magics, and I hope to see you over on Patreon. So have a beautiful eclipse season, beginning solstice energy to Capricorn season, and I will see you very soon.